0 days since needed drama. Yep. Alright, let's watch it. How a massive VTuber Corp is trying to hide a predator! Oh no. No woman is safe.
Well guys, I say it every time. At this point, it's a catchphrase, but Niji Sanji, otherwise known as Anycolor, their parent company, is truly the gift that keeps on giving.
Niji's
the
on
downfall
fire.
of this company ever since the beginning of this year has been unprecedented. It's hard to believe that back in June 2022, Anycolor used to be worth $1.2 billion. Yes, you heard that right.
Wait, Japan's #1 YouTuber operator Anycolor lists on the Tokyo Stock Exchange? Wait, they were bigger than Hollow? I thought Hollow was always bigger. In Japan, yes? What? Really? I had no idea.
Right, billion, 1.2 billion.
Okay.
And yes, we're talking about a VTuber corporation.
Understood.
It's crazy. But the company has since then lost more than half of their entire value. And what's even worse for investors is that there is zero hope for recovery. The downfall of Niji Sanji started—
Imagine buying it right here. Hold on. Go back. Imagine buying it in 2022 at the peak. And you lost like, what is the worth value? 5,500? And now it's down to like 2,000 barely. It'll go back up, surely.
is that there is zero hope for recovery. The downfall of Niji Sanji started in the beginning of 2024, back around February, when it turned out that one of their beloved talents tried to evaporate her soul out of her body, if you get what I mean. Mainly due to the very toxic work culture at Niji Sanji. This was
And we just talked about toxic work culture in video games. This is arguably worse because you have to be very social in your, your social job. You can't just like buckle down and do whatever you want and like just do your job. You have to socialize.
Very big shock because prior to this, Niji Sanji was seen as one of the top VTubing agencies on the planet. No one saw this coming. It didn't take long for us to see how toxic they were internally, though, because instead of apologizing, Niji Sanji put up some of their top VTubers to do a black screen stream, pretty much blaming the VTuber who almost lost their life and getting massive hate for it. This was—
Dude, it was insane watching this live. Like, I watched it with no pre-watch, no nothing. It was like within 15 minutes of it being released. It was insane.
It's truly the beginning of the end for Niji Sanji, and they have screwed up so many times throughout this year that I had to create a
the Luca Kaneshiro drama.
playlist full of videos of them doing dumb shit. But even with all that, we've never truly reached a point like the one we found ourselves in today. A VTuber currently working for Niji Sanji decided to reach out to FalseEyeD in order to leak the fact that there's currently a predator within Niji Sanji's ranks and that they are covering for him. There are many victims here, both inside and outside of Niji Sanji, and the stakes have never been higher. We need to talk about this, so let's do it. But first, a quick sponsor. Ever wondered what would happen if we combined the amazing art style in League of Legends with an old school MMO game? Well, no need to wonder anymore, because that's what Corpunk is all about. With many classes and different subclasses at your disposal, you can make the character that suits your playstyle the best. This is a fully voiced 18+ game that has no hand-holding. If you've played any MMOs or MOBAs before, you will feel right at home.
That's me.
You will have a lot of progression ahead of you in terms of leveling up your talents and your weapon masteries. There are also many professions such as alchemy. And let's not forget the amazing mounts and pets that you can earn through gameplay. So you'll be busy. Look, if you're interested in a massive game ran by an independent studio, click the link in the description or the pinned comment to—
Holy moly, how is this allowed? Look at that ass! Do you guys see that? Oh my god!
Pre-order the game and be able to play today in early access. Thank you so much, Artificial Core, for sponsoring this video. So Astro Arcadia is a male VTuber that's part of Niji Sanji's English branch. Niji Sanji will introduce new VTubers in waves, and Astro was part—
Oh no, Scarlet was in the same gen? Oh, poor Scarla, dude.
of the iLuna wave alongside 5 other VTubers. They debuted in
Poor
summer
Scarla,
2022. Back in February of 2024, as the disaster surrounding Selen was happening, Raziel Warmonic, who used to be a moderator of Luca Kaneshiro, a massive Nijisanji
so
English
good.
VTuber, put out a tweet saying not to add fuel to the fire, but since I was close to a member of Nijisanji for a long time, I am absolutely not surprised it's starting to crumble. I was vented to about a male member from iLuna, sorry I can't remember which, this was a voice convo from over a year ago, that was harassing and guilt-tripping new girls to the point that other members would go quiet or exclude them from their voice chats. Yet management apparently did nothing and the members themselves had to self-regulate.
And again, 500,000 followers almost on Twitter. Yeah, he's one of the big ones, huh?
She then added, I just got confirmation from another individual. It was Aster. I will not name who told me this. No more witch hunts. There were 3 male members in
And how long ago was this? February 2024.
I will not name who told me this. No more witch hunts. There were 3 male members in iLuna, and she had confirmed that she was talking specifically about Aster. Nijisanji was already under a lot of fire. This was definitely fuel to the fire. A day later, on 4chan, DMs between Aster and Scarla leaked.
I saw this. Yeah, I remember this. And everybody said it was fake. Everybody said that this was fake.
Scarla is another well-known VTuber, also part of the iLuna wave, debuting with Aster. This conversation was painful and awkward to read. Aster was bickering about voice chat etiquette, and Scarla did not know how to respond except for saying sorry repeatedly, saying,
Aster, I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed by everything. I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I forgot everything. I was overwhelmed by the messages. I don't know what to say to you. That's why I didn't respond right away. I'm not ignoring you. I just don't know what to say. I'm sorry. She said I'm sorry 4 times in the same message.
Aster, I'm sorry. I'm just overwhelmed by everything. Man, I'm sorry I hurt you. I'm sorry I forget everything. I'm just overwhelmed by the messages. I don't know.
This is why I could not be in like a corpo, in this kind of corpo. I should probably clarify. I'm sure there are other corpos that are really, really nice, and management would probably call this shit out. But if I was in Scarlett's position, I would lose it. I genuinely would. I can't stand for this kind of like passive aggressive cringe. Like, yeah, they're better at hiding. No, I don't know how she deals with it. If this is true, I don't know how she deals with it.
What to say to you? That's why I didn't respond right away. I'm not ignoring you. I just don't know what to say. I'm sorry. There was also another conversation in which she says, I'm sorry, Aster, I keep making you feel this way, with him replying, I mean, is that it?
Is that it?
Like, what else do you want, man?
What a fucking bitch, dude. What a bitch.
Apologizing. And then within the span of 30 minutes, he kept pushing over and over and over, not getting a reply, and saying, seriously, so you're purposefully ignoring me? It was clear that this DM leak was trying to make him look bad, right? Because all Scarlett was doing was apologize, and he wasn't letting it go. It was certainly matching the description that Raziel had provided about Aster, guilt-tripping new girls, and even harassing them. Knowing that this was 4chan, though, many people were concerned that
You can fake these. I'm just gonna preface this. Again, like last time, Discord messages and everything can be faked. We'll see, though. I mean, we're only 5 minutes in. Maybe we can see other things, okay?
These were just fake. I mean, who's going to leak this? Scarla? That would be an easy way for her to get fired. And Aster? Why would he make himself look bad? But then something weird happened.
And the other thing, if this was real and Scarla leaked this, because this would be Scarla's POV, I think they would have fired her, no?
On the same day those 4chan messages leaked, both Aster and Scarla posted matching hearts at the same exact timestamp.
Or that happened, but they don't want to admit that it happened, because if they admit that it happened, then and they fire her, that it's going to make them look really bad. Corpo cover-up, management did it. Yeah, management could have used their accounts to log in and do that, because they don't have autonomy over their Twitter.
Right after this, they proceeded to stream together, completely unprompted, right? Typically, they post weekly schedules telling their viewers what they're going to do on their channels. This was not announced. This had happened all of a sudden on the same day. This made some people suspicious. Like, why would you go this far to do all these things right after the messages leaked on 4chan? Are you trying to hide something? Did Nijisanji put you up to this to try and hide the fact that you guys have a terrible relationship? It smelled fishy, but there was not enough proof to really conclude anything, so people moved on. That was, of course, until April 2024, when Raziel, who was Luca Kaneshiro's ex-mod, posted a 58-page document detailing her experience with him. And
I read a good portion of this, and I watched a video on this too.
Now he was entitled, exploitative, and abusive towards her, as well as other members within Nijisanji. This is where, on page 55, she would include this bombshell under allegations. Here's what she had to say. Astor Arcadia harassing other coworkers. I can confirm that Luca Kaneshiro said that multiple girls were coming to him about the issue since management wouldn't do anything, and he discussed it with both Illyra and I. Illyra being Illyra Pandora, another Nijisanji English VTuber. She then continues. I personally told him to gather as much evidence as possible and bring it to management since it shouldn't be there, Luca's and Illyra's job, to regulate this issue. To my understanding, nothing was done about it.
Well, yeah, when you need to please investors and you need to have them make money and you let go one of your biggest talents, like, yeah, kind of makes sense. Just brush it under the rug. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Thank you for notifying us.
She also showed a message that was sent to her by a Nijisanji English VTuber saying, to help you with clarity, I remember that incident, it was Astor. This was back during February 7th when Raziel had tweeted about the fact that someone from iLuna was harassing and guilt-tripping new girls. When she said, I just got confirmation from another individual that it was Astor, she was referring to that VTuber who had DM'd her on Twitter. This, of course, was a very serious accusation, but people were mostly focused on Luca Kaneshiro being a weirdo in these 58 pages rather than really pursuing this. Because other than this random Twitter DM, we didn't really have concrete proof. And besides, people were more interested with how Luca beat his meat in VR chat without Raziel's consent.
In his past life, I remember this too. In his past life, before he became a Nijisanji VTuber, he beat his Schmied and then told this chick, the chick that leaked this document, this Raziel, allegedly he beat his Schmied in VR chat when they were talking, and then afterwards he DM'd her about it, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And then he was like, yeah, I was like beating my meat. He didn't even tell her at the time. He was like, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna DM her now.
And anyway, I mean, the shock value from that alone was crazy. It made people slowly forget about the Astra allegations. However, that all changed just a few days ago on December 6th, 2024. That was the day that FalseEyeD had published this video titled Exclusive. Nijisanji English VTuber speaks out against Nijisanji English Liver. He had done something unprecedented. A Nijisanji VTuber had reached out to him from within the company to tell him that yes, Astor Arcadia is a serial harasser. This was the same Nijisanji English VTuber who had messaged Raziel and told her, I remember that incident, it was...
Dude, it's like a villainous company with like hostages, man. I just... Again, Nina Kosaka was one of my Oshis, right? Like, I only knew about Nijisanji because of her, right? Like, I didn't really watch anyone else, like, to be honest. It's like a hostage situation. You just want to help them, and you don't know if it's real, but like some things come out, and it's like...
Astra, also sharing some never-before-seen DMs she had sent Raziel. Like, a lot of people waited for you to tell the truth for a while because it had been an issue, so I'm happy you finally did. Do not worry about those that are sending hate. This truth in the long run will help so many people. He then shared messages of that Nijisanji English VTuber venting back in September about Astor's behavior, saying, when I had a mental breakdown and went to Twitch, it was because Astor was saying like he wants to fly me out to Japan, saying weird sexual shit, sex pesting my friends. I went to management, they wouldn't even speak to him. I was really considering graduating.
And this is in September. Yikes.
They were really considering leaving the company over this, but their manager talked them out of it. They then said, because it feels gross to me, like I feel like I'm hiding his behavior because it's not just me, it's many, many girls. A lot of my friends. Again, how many subs does this guy have? 300K? That's pretty decent amount. Yeah, he's probably making them a decent amount of money. They don't want to lose him. Again, if I was a villainous company and I'm hemorrhaging money and I'm not making investors happy, I would definitely try and hide him. Like, if I was a villain and I had no morals and no, like, attachments, I'd be like, fuck him, send him out there, go, get out there, I don't give a fuck, make me money. Just brush it under the rug. These stupid VTubers don't even know what they're talking about. Also adding that Nijisanji was too scared to take any action because they didn't want more bad PR after everything that had happened this year. The name of this Nijisanji VTuber, who is a victim of Astro Arcadia, wasn't revealed in this video. Now obviously there were people doubting the source of information, saying why would you want to censor the name? Revealing it would add so much more weight to these accusations. But in order to understand that, we have to, yet again, go back to 4chan. A little while ago, a bunch of different messages leaked on 4chan between that one Nijisanji English VTuber who had reached out to FalseEyeD and a handful of their friends. Some of these messages were from that VTuber stream chat, but the majority were from Discord DMs. There were some morbid revelations, like how this VTuber was straight up in debt because Nijisanji had withdrawn all the VTuber model costs and the equipment costs from their salary. So after a long time being there, they still have not gotten a proper salary, barely affording to eat. Truly an incredible.
But this also tracks because a lot of ex-Nijisanji VTubers who became indie have talked about it. They have, and also they validated and said they only get 2% of all merch sales. Who was her name? Brightheart? She talked about it too. She said, she briefly, or maybe it wasn't Brightheart, it was someone, they said that they just basically didn't make any money. And, Michi's friend in a dream also talked about how they fucked up her taxes. Yeah, Michi's dream friend, Bethany. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Company to work at. But what these logs allow us to do is to cross-reference the messages shown in FalseEyeD's video to the messages here. For example, if we take the message he wants to fly me out to Japan, we find it right here following the same timestamp that was shown in the Discord logs in FalseEyeD's video. I have no idea who leaked this, but these logs paint a very dark picture about the worries this VTuber had of even revealing this information to the public. Look, the topic of Aster came up multiple times.
It depends when these messages were leaked as opposed to the screenshot. Again, you have to be very skeptical. I'm not 100% convinced, but where there's smoke, there's fire. I always say that. Like, there's been way too much drama and confirmed drama, like confirmed news of people getting fucked over by this company. I don't know. It's not outrageous to think these kinds of things.
And at some point, one of the friends of this Nijisanji English VTuber wanted them to expose the harassment that they had endured from Aster to the public. They expressed shock when the VTuber was reluctant, saying, I thought they don't fucking fire people? Like I was under the impression it literally can't happen. With the Nijisanji VTuber then saying, if you do something bad enough. The friend said, but you are unironically a victim. Fuck them, you did nothing wrong at all. Why are we even scared? They treat you like shit. Some creep harasses you. You get fired? ? Make that make sense. With the VTuber saying, that's why it's 50-50. They either ignore it or fire me. So this Nijisanji English VTuber actually loves being a VTuber and they don't want to get fired. They have to quit their IRL job for this and they don't have anything else they can do at the moment. If FalseEyeD had irresponsibly leaked their name, their identity, then Nijisanji would have terminated them, well, immediately, and Aster would have gotten away with it anyway. It's counterproductive, and this is why I won't leak it either. So look, even with the VTuber wanting to keep their job, the friends of the VTuber were seeing this injustice unfold and they couldn't just not do anything about it. They wanted the Nijisanji VTuber, their friend, to get their justice. This is why they reached out to FalseEyeD. Here we can see a conversation with one of the VTuber's friends and FalseEyeD. This was FalseEyeD's first contact with this group of people. They agreed on a time to call and then went ahead and did it. During the call, the VTuber's friend showed him all the screenshots of the past logs we just saw, of them talking about Aster and the harassment they had to endure for a very long time. The call lasted 1 hour. On November 11th, the Nijisanji English VTuber who was harassed by Aster had reached out to FalseEyeD and added them on Discord, saying, "Hey, thanks for accepting my request. Blank told me he sent you some things and I was wondering if you'd be able to have a call with me." This is referring to the friend of the VTuber that FalseEyeD had called for an hour. And FalseEyeD replied with, "Sure, not a problem. What time works for you?" This was when the VTuber would reveal to FalseEyeD that Aster had done this not to just them, but to their friends, to multiple people. The VTuber initially thought that maybe he was just bad at communicating, but seeing the fact that he was doing it to so many people at the same time made them understand, okay, no, this guy's actually a creep, and he would vary his...
Well, another big thing is that if you let this kind of sex pest know that they can get away with it, they'll keep doing it and it'll keep spreading, and then eventually there will be so much corroborating evidence that it will come out to the public. And I think that's probably what's happening right now. It took a couple of months, but
creepiness level from person to person. With some people, he would tell them, "Oh man, you should really come to Japan. We could hold hands, sit in the same hotel room, have a great time." And to some others, he would be more inappropriate, mentioning things like how they should be naked together. Additionally, this VTuber had felt really guilty because they had brought one of their IRL friends from outside of Nijisanji to come and play games with them, plus some other friends, and Aster. After a certain period of time, that friend would then also receive inappropriate messages from Aster. The guy was an unapologetic fiend. The VTuber also had shared DMs with Aster. They had streamed League of Legends together, and Aster really didn't like the banter that the VTuber had towards his jungling skills.
I'm sorry, you're a League of Legends player and you're past a predator. This tracks, and then getting offended when people call you out and make jokes about your jungling skills. Hold on, I'm gonna read this. Making a joke about the jungling thing once or twice is fine. It's a joke after all. But the entire time, maybe if you stopped sucking, and to the point of even yelling at me and arguing with me, that is taking it a step too far, and I was really trying to hold in my anger. I even told you straight up in a serious tone in front of everyone, I do not want to be verbally abused again. Stop it. Shut the fuck up. You're a League of Legends player. Shut up. If these are true, unironically, shut your fucking mouth. You play League of Legends. You get verbally abused on the fucking daily by not only the people that you play with, but probably your mom and your dad and your brother and sister and your cousins. Someone look up this guy's rank, by the way, right now. If somebody knows, I would love to know this guy's rank.
The reason why this is significant is that due to the style of writing of this message,
and what they play,
you can draw
I'd
a parallel
love
to the style of writing in these messages between Aster and Scarlet. This is simply how he talked. The pieces of the puzzle were starting to slowly come together at this point. Aster was manipulative, and he had many different victims to practice his manipulation tactics on. The information provided was already enough to shock the VTubing community to its core. But as you might have guessed, things only got worse from here and escalated further. Aster had debuted alongside two other male VTubers in the iLuna wave. One of those VTubers was Kyo. The thing with Kyo was that he had graduated around the time the Selen controversy was going on. He was done with the company and left in February of 2024 after his final stream. In March, he went independent and became Quinn Bennett, and has been streaming ever since.
Hold on, I'm gonna hold off.
However, shortly after debuting at Nijisanji, he had created a podcast series with Aster and another VTuber by the name of Ren. The series was short-lived, ending after 2 episodes. But people didn't really think much of it, assuming they were just busy, and moved on. However, that all changed recently. Because very shortly after FalseEyeD's video, Quinn tweeted this, saying, "All I'm saying is there's a reason the podcast only lasted 2 episodes. To many, this was a subtweet directed towards Aster. He was blaming Aster for the fact that the podcast ended so quickly. As you can imagine, this was a lot of fuel added to the fire. Quinn then proceeded to add even more fuel by deleting the tweet, making people want to talk about it even more, thinking that he may have gotten in trouble with Niji-sanji over this tweet. But then he made another tweet saying this: "Never mind. I feel it's irresponsible to be vague given the circumstances, and to be honest, I want to stay in my own lane. Even if I personally dislike someone, that doesn't give or remove credibility from a third-party story. My opinion wasn't meant to invalidate or validate someone else's experience, which is why I deleted the post. Hope that clears everything up." But by then, the damage was already done. Quinn knew he could just move on from it, so he tweeted out, clearing things up.
Oh, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't launch stream and talk about it. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think doing that is the move.
Linking a Twitch stream. The stream was around 27 minutes long, and it was him talking about the situation at length. What he had to say did not in any way make Aster look good. Watch.
To hide this aspect of the puzzle piece. I really don't want to talk about this because if I don't talk about it, I'm seen as protecting a predator. If I do, I'm seen as being messy.
But you just called him a Does this guy have a manager? Please, for the love of God, why? But you just said, I want to stay in my own lane, and then you go and say that they're a predator. No, he's indie. Guys, indie people can have managers. I'm just saying sometimes you should think about what you say before. Yeah.
So to be honest, I'm going to be as vague as possible. But another reason I didn't like this person is because there were some stories going around and some things I saw where they behaved weird towards women. Okay. Nothing criminal, nothing to the extent of what has recently come out. But I didn't like how they seemed kind of like they would like nag certain women about certain things or kind of put them in positions to feel guilty. I
would bitch slap that bitch. Look at his chat. What about it? They're just patting him on the head. You gotta be more specific. What about the chat?
Pounce on like newer members that were in the company and that didn't know about this behavior. Like they were not the most healthy when they interacted with women. And I'm going to be honest about that. I'm not going to cover it up.
This was interesting because the wording he was using here, guilt tripping, for example, was the exact same wording that was used by Raziel when she spoke about Aster. This was lining up, but Quinn didn't end it here, obviously. He had way more to say.
Are the interactions between women allegations? I witnessed some of them myself. Okay, I witnessed some of them myself. Some of them happened to some of my friends. But I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to say what. I'm just saying I didn't like it. I didn't like it, so I didn't like this person, okay? Now, this is bringing me back to my original point. Should you guys even know any of this shit from me? Should I be the one telling you this? Fuck no, okay?
Well, there you have it.
I mean, girl, what the fuck?
Fuck no, okay?
Well, there you have it. Quinn had seen this behavior happen to some of his female friends. But again,
just let nature
this
happen.
was not every...
It's just funny. I'm sorry.
He had to say it
funny.
Got worse.
Since everyone is making me feel guilty for maybe covering up abuse or whatever, I will say in my personal, very biased opinion, okay? Take this with like 800 milligrams of sodium.
Stop vague tweeting entirely. Is this guy in my chat? Let me check. Who is this guy? Do they follow me? No, they don't. Beast! Stop fake tweeting and then deleting it and then saying you want to stay in your own lane and then making it stream.
Enough for you to like die from sodium overdose.
Okay.
This, unfortunately, based off of what I have seen, does not seem like something that is completely out of character of behavior for this person to potentially do. Like, I could see a universe where this happens. Okay, is my point. It's not like I would never ever see this happening. That's not how I feel. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. All right.
Now, it's really interesting.
Someone just said it too. They said stop vague tweeting, man.
Seeing this chat, right? Because obviously he still has a lot of viewers that came from Nijisanji, and many of them are not happy about the fact that he's speaking out about this. Quinn, actually don't say that. Bro, you're saying too much. Question mark. Dude, just stop. Seriously. We have this
No, I don't think so. I would take the stance of like, you're kind of... You said one thing, but then you're doing a complete other thing, and then also like pivoting like constantly. I don't think these are Niji people. This is just VTubers in general. Did you just give 6 months to Chief Keefa? I hope this guy comes into stream.
Massive allegation going on. He has a perspective that we're lacking right now. Someone who has worked with him directly, who's seen him interact with his friends in a weird, creepy way, and they're asking him to shut up. It's crazy. His last statement.
I don't think that's the case. I just think it's... Just say it with your chest is what I want to say. Yeah, like if you're going to subtweet and vague tweet, don't delete it and then like do this shit. I just makes it seem very disingenuous in my opinion. Sorry, if this was happening to my friends in another company, I don't care what Nijisanji would do. I would just say it with my chest. Like the girl that made the documents and everything that's coming true, she's saying it with your chest, and I'm not telling her to shut up because she's completely valid in what she wants to put on the internet. She's not like deleting it and saying like, oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean what I said. I actually meant to say it more like this. And you know, like that's what I'm saying. I don't think this is like, oh, shut up, like stop talking about Niji.
Here is actually massive. You see, if I knew someone and they were being accused of something, and I knew for a fact, nah, they're a good person, they would never do that, I would back them up and I'd say, listen, as far as I know, they had never done this around me, and I just don't see them doing it. But Quinn had a completely different thing to say, saying, listen, guys, I just don't see it as impossible. Like, this kind of aligns with the person I knew. And at this point, with every single instance involving Astor over the last year, Nijisanji can't keep shielding him anymore. We need accountability. One thing that no one was expecting, including myself, is the fact that Nijisanji put out a statement fairly quickly about this, saying, thank you for your continued support of Nijisanji.
Oh no, I saw the word independent investigation.
And Nijisanji Regarding the recent controversy, Anycolor has determined the following course of action. We have initiated an independent third-party investigation into these issues and will share the outcome with our livers and our community. This investigation will focus.
We have investigated Anycolor. We have found that we have done nothing wrong. Please move along, citizen.
Focus on the issues of sexual harassment and unauthorized information leakage to outside parties and will include a thorough review of company policies and their implementation. Based on the outcome of this investigation, appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken and updated policies will be shared with our livers and our community. Anycolor is committed to a safe and community-focused environment free from any type of inappropriate behavior. For all inquiries related to this matter, please contact Anycolor Inc. Now, typically when a corporation says a third-party investigation will take place, it doesn't really mean much. If you guys remember, that's what Mr. Beast did with his own company and found himself not guilty. Great. And what worries me...
And, I mean, the Mr. Beast thing is so complicated. There's so much more to it than just the harassment. It's the crypto shit and everything else in between. Anyway,
here is that not only will they focus on issues of sexual harassment, but they'll also focus on unauthorized information leakage to outside parties, which tells me they're probably going to focus on the VTuber who leaked this information rather than Astor Arcadia. We'll see what happens, I guess, but I'm not very optimistic. I can guarantee you, though, that behind the scenes right now, it is an absolute mess at Nijisanji. After FalseEyeD's video had released, Astor immediately set his chat on his channel to subscribers only mode. You need to have been subscribed for at least 24 hours before you can even send messages. He then posted this in his stream chat saying, I will have to postpone the cooking stream. Sorry, missing some stuff and setup is complicated. Thanks for your understanding. It's currently been delayed by around a week. So he's very well aware of it. Nijisanji has told us that they are aware of this too now.
They're panicking.
What happens remains to be seen, but there's clear favoritism in Nijisanji. We know this by now. So I'm not very optimistic, but hey, I just hope that the people he harassed can get their peace. If something else happens, I will keep you updated though. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. See you in the next video. Mwah.
Jesus Christ. Hey, subscribe to Fly to Japan. Wanna have sex? Oh my god. Bam bam. That was good. He's kind of getting hooked on the YouTube community tab. Oh, I believe that, absolutely. That was a good video, guys. Check him out, Mujin. Very cool, very informative. YouTube, friggin' VTuber, mostly VTuber drama kind of thing. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool.